mi experiencia de trabajar en una máquina y también trabajar en un proyecto como este.
So she said that I want that she share her experience of working for many years in a factory and then coming to work in a community project and like the difference how she feels.
Trabajé en una maquila 7 años.
I worked in a factory for 7 years.
Y luego en otra 3 años.
And then she changed to another one and she worked there for 3 years.
Estas maquilas, quizás no solo donde yo trabajé, sino otras también cerraron porque suspendieron el trabajo que traían del extranjero y se lo llevaron a otros países, como Filipinas o Belice, Guatemala.
So she's explaining that these two companies or factories, they closed and they went to another countries. They left to another countries because it's supposed they didn't have they profit here in El Salvador, so they left to Filipinas and Guatemala or Belize.
Ellos nos decían de que no nos apurábamos, que nos sacábamos del trabajo a tiempo y que siempre estábamos como pidiendo ganar más.
So she's explaining that the supervisors or the owners, the employers, used to say that they were very slow working, that they didn't finish the task for the day, and so they wanted a better, how do you say, mano de obra? How do you say?
Labor.
Labor, yeah.
Entonces, estas maquilas, a pesar de que son explotadores y que no le pagan bien a uno, pero de alguna manera ayudaban a mantener ocupada a mucha gente. Pero luego de que han cerrado muchas maquilas, hay mucho desempleo también.
So she's saying that even though the factories where the employers were exploiting them, at least they were offering
Employment.
Yeah, unemployment and a small support for the families, many families.
Entonces es un trabajo explotador porque uno tiene que entrar muy temprano para poder sacar la meta que le ponen a uno, pero a veces también no sabe la hora que va a salir.
¿A qué hora comenzaba usted?
A las 7 y terminábamos a las 5, pero si era necesario quedarse hasta las 6:30 o las 7 también lo teníamos que hacer para sacar las metas.
So she's explaining that this kind of work is you have to start early in the morning and depending if you finish your task, you can finish at early, but early can be around 5, and then if need, they had to stay later until 6:30 or 7 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and depending on the work they have until 7 p.m.
Bueno, en estos trabajos también uno, aunque tenga sus hijos enfermos, tenga compromisos en la escuela con sus hijos, no le dan permiso, y si se lo dan, a veces le descuentan esas horas que uno va, y también hay que solicitar un permiso con anticipación, porque si uno lo pide así de repente, no se lo dan.
So she's explaining that if they had meetings in the school, or if they have the kids sick and they have to go to the hospital, they have to ask permission in advance, but if they ask permission suddenly, they didn't get the permission, and it was really difficult for them to get a permission for doing this kind of, take care of this kind of personal situation.
Otra desventaja también es de que, bueno, le pagan tan mínimo a uno que no alcanza para nada, y también le descuentan lo que es seguro vía FP y a veces no lo están abonando donde lo deben, sino que el patrono se lo toma, y cuando uno va a estas oficinas a ver cuánto tiene en las AFP, uno conoce que solo se lo han estado descontando y no lo abonan.
Something that I didn't say from the last part is that if they go out to the hospital with the kids or they do a permission, they don't pay, the employers don't pay or discount the money from this time that they are out. And right now she's explaining that the wage they receive is really minimum, and is every, ¿verdad que era cada 15 días?
Cada 14
every 14 days. And she said that was just for surviving because it was not enough for all the needs they have, basically. And many other things, like other problems that for the employers is that they take from your salary, they take for pension and also for health care, but sometimes they are not putting the money in their account. They steal the money. So what they do is when they go to the company where they are saving for pension, they realize that after 7 years, after 10 years, they don't have any money there because the employers took all the money.
¿Tiene usted un sindicato?
¿Se podría?
Sí, en algunas, en las mochilas que yo trabajé no, porque siempre había ese temor de organizarse, pero en otras empresas grandes sí hay sindicatos, pero están chequeados, ya los ven de mala forma, pues, que son revoltosos, que protestan por todo, que contaminan a los demás empleados.
And just explaining that in the factory where they work, where she worked, they were not allowed to do a union, to get organized in a union. But there were other factories where people were starting to organize. And this was with the second government from Arena Party, like in 1994 to 1998, 95, 90, around that. Was the president who started bringing all these factories, and he said that his dream was to have the whole country as a big factory. So what happened is that because the first government said the state doesn't have power, so the companies can come and do whatever they want to the workers. There are no rights for the workers, all the rights are for the big companies. So then we have the factories, and they didn't permit for people to get organized. And right now I did a study with a professor from Canada about unions and comparing how the situation of the precarious workers are. And we can talk more about that later, like some years ago. So she's explaining that it was very difficult for them to be in that kind of they were pointing and saying that this is the poison, so they are influencing the other people. So if someone talk about union, it's a bad word, and be careful.
Y bueno, ya para resumir, después de que cerraron y yo me quedé sin trabajo, estuve unos meses en la casa, y luego Paulita, como es mi hermana, me dijo de que en el proyecto podría yo empezar a integrarme al grupo. Y empecé bordando, y luego como yo ya sabía manejar las máquinas, empecé a trabajar confeccionando las prendas, que luego las bordábamos y las vendíamos.
So she said that Paulita is her sister, and when she lose her job, she spent some months in her house without a job, and Paulita recommended her. She said Paulita recommended her to join to the project, invite her to come here. And so she came and she started working, and at the beginning she started doing embroidering, but because she already knew how to use the machine, because she was working in the factory, she started also doing all the sewing process and then embroidering.
Y luego como era a inicio del proyecto, era asociación, entonces me dijeron que si quería formar parte de la directiva, tenía que ya estar a tiempo completo. Entonces desde entonces me quedé en el proyecto, y hasta este momento acá estoy. Ya tengo 6 años, y ella me molesta mucho.
I don't molest her.
No nos sorprende.
So she's saying that the board asked her to join to the board too, to be permanent worker here, and she decided to. So she has been working here for 6 years, and she decided to be just permanently working here. And we used to discuss that very different, some of the difference between working in a factory and working here is that they are like community projects, solidarity all the time, friends, and they talk about their personal things, They try to support each other. And we were just making a joke that they can drink coffee 4 times a day. They can go to the bathroom many times a day. There are no limits. They work hard, but they know that they are in an environment completely different, and there are no boss saying you have to do this. It's like we have to work together. Solo estaba haciendo la broma aquí.
Socialismo del siglo XXI.
¿Cómo?
Socialismo del siglo XXI.
Sí.
Y bueno, ahora estoy dentro de las responsabilidades que tenemos, aquí todas hacemos de todo, pero dentro de las responsabilidades son las ventas, y estoy encargada de las ventas, y mis compañeras también me ayudan. Salimos a los festivales, salimos a comercializar nuestros productos también.
So she said that all of them have multitask. They share the work, but one of her responsibilities is to sell in the store. So she will be selling you. She will be offering all their work, and she participate in the festivals, like going out in the big festivals where many people from other communities join, and she's the one who has to bring all the stuff and sell.
Y muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Bueno,